Testing.
Like storms outside the main eye wall, right around the eye. It's spinning really fast.
So I don't know if it's already streaming, but testing. Sound should be good. Guys, we are now officially live. I don't know if we were live before, but if we were, we are officially live. I'm at my computer now, and we will look at the charts. So with that being said, guys, let me get this out to my Telegram group. We do have a Telegram group. The link is in the YouTube description, and it's also on TikTok. So feel free to join that. We just discussed crypto in there, and like I said, I'm trying to grow it right now. We have 53 people in there. Also, I got to get TikTok going, so give me a second to do that. Technically, we go live at 8 p.m. now on Tuesdays and I think it's 3 or 4 p.m. Central Time on Saturdays. It is 3 p.m. Central Time on Saturdays. That's what I wrote down on my TikTok bio. So that is our official time that we are going to start going live every single week. Now, on Tuesdays, if I get home earlier from work, I might start going live a little bit before 8 p.m. Central Time. But that is currently my plan. So let me make sure that you guys can see that. We will get started. So let's officially get started. Let's head over to Bitcoin. I'm going to turn the brightness down just a little bit. So right now, actually what I did on Bitcoin is I saw, what time was this at? This was on the 27th at 11:15. I saw this morning, I think I don't know exactly what time, late morning, early afternoon. Right now it's 7:30 p.m. Central Time, my time. I took a short on Bitcoin. My entry price was around $19,100, $19,110, something like that. And I did a limit order for that price. For 19,100, a short, 1x short, and my take profit was 18.3. I expected that trade to take much longer than it did. It took about 2 or 3 hours at most for that trade to work out. I got my 4% gains, or about 4% gains, and I got out of the trade. I saw we were in a bear flag. RSI at the time was overbought on the, well, let me go to the 1 hour chart. It was overbought. We are up here on the 1 hour chart for Bitcoin, so I took the short. The 4 hour chart was completely overbought. Now you're almost completely oversold, so Bitcoin probably will get a nice bounce, at least around 18.8, which you got. 18.8 is your support. That's where we went down to. So daily chart RSI still has room to go to the upside. The 4 hour chart, like I said, is getting oversold now after that dump, and the 1 hour chart is already in an uptrend, and you probably saw your low of 18,800. For right now, that's extremely strong support. You have a huge node here. So that's very good support at $18,800. It is unlikely you break 18.8, but if you do break 18,800, your next support would be 18,300. So let's go over to Bookmap and see what Bookmap is telling us. This is let's look at Bookmap. If you guys have any requests for coins, like I said, drop them in the comments. I'll look at them after I look at Bitcoin and Luna. I want to look at Luna first too. So right now, if we zoom really far in, can you guys see that on TikTok? If you guys zoom really far in, you have a lot more liquidity down here around that $19,000 area. So only about $100 lower. Let's zoom out a little bit more. 18.8, there's a little bit of orders, but there's still a lot more at 19.1. So pretty much, Bookmap is telling us we don't expect a lot of volatility tonight. 18.5, though, look at that. All the way down here, you have a lot of orders. So if we do lose $19,000, 18.5 is probably going to happen very quickly. So let's keep zooming out. 18,000 has a ton of liquidity. So this is Bookmap is telling me on the larger time frames, you are probably going to come down and revisit $18,000 at least one more time. If we keep zooming out, you have a little bit of 17.5, but 18,000 is still the biggest one so far. You have some at 17,000, but like I said, 18,000 is still the biggest one so far. You have a lot at 16,000, just as much as you have at 18. So 18,000 is definitely on the table first, though. So that's kind of it. And then 15,000, but has a lot. I would not be surprised at all if in the next month or so, Bitcoin comes down to 18,000. So 18,000 is the first target, though, on the smaller time frame. So, and when I say smaller time frames, I mean probably on the daily chart. So that's kind of what we are looking at right now on the bigger picture. If I go back to the 1 hour chart for Bitcoin. It is trying to get back above this. I'm going to just zoom in really quick, and I'm going to tell you very quickly, if Bitcoin does not get above, it's looking like it's trying to do it right now, but Bitcoin does not get above 19,300, you are going to drop down even lower, because what I'm looking like as right now is another bear flag for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has to hit 19.3. If it does not get above 19.3, you can expect more downside. Let me go to the 15-minute chart so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So that's a bear flag. You're just going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And you, for the moment, cannot get above that. If you break 19.3, if you get to 19.3, then you're out of the bear flag and you're fine. But for right now, this does not look bullish to me. 19.3, you have to break that. If you don't, you're not. It's not good. Also, the 15-minute chart is overbought. Technically, on the smaller time frames, that's a higher high than the previous one. But when you go to the 1 hour chart, that still looks bearish. So 19.3, you have to break it, or it's actually going to be time for another short position to the downside, at least to 18.8. 1 hour chart does have juice, so that is a good sign. But the 15-minute chart, yeah. So overall, Bitcoin has some hope short term. 15-minute chart, though, needs to cool down, and you have to be above 19.3, and you're not. So 15-minute chart is worrying me a little bit because you're not above 19.3 and you're overbought. But the 1 hour chart, like I said, has more juice to the upside. The 4 hour chart is about to be oversold again, so 4 hour chart is about to have juice as well. I'd be surprised if Bitcoin tonight lost 18,800. So short term, as long as Bitcoin can get above 19.3, I'm not looking for a dump. But if you don't get above 19.3, I'm looking for a move down to 18.8. Like I said, I don't see it going below that tonight at least. So that's it for Bitcoin short term. If you break 19.3, you can have a rally back to $20,000. If you can't get above 19.3, you can have a move down to 18.8, but I would not expect anything more. It could happen, but that's just what I'm looking at. So let me look at Luna Classic, then we will go look at Chili's. So Luna Classic, I'm still in my short from 29, currently at 27.6. It was a 5x short. So that's currently the trade I'm in. It's almost like another bear flag is happening right now on Luna. And maybe this is pushing it a little bit to call this a bear flag. But overall, you are still struggling. I'm going to have to zoom into the 15-minute chart to see this. You are still struggling, just like Bitcoin is struggling. You are still struggling to get out of this range that you've been in all day. So pretty much, I would say this. It's not the best bear flag, but if you cannot get above 29, you're not bullish. And 30 is your next resistance. So right now, you're going to be using 30 as major resistance. And you're also kind of been in this range between 26.6 and 28.5 all day. Until you break 28.5, I'll say, you're not bullish on this. And the other problem is, again, you got overbought in the 15-minute chart and dumped without breaking previous high. So again, this does not look bullish to me right now. 1 hour chart is also getting overbought on Luna without breaking a previous high. The previous high last time you were overbought was this high up here at 33, and the 1 hour chart is now almost overbought again completely without breaking a previous high. The 4 hour chart also has more room to dump, trying to flatline here, but it's still a lot more room to dump on the 4 hour chart. To me, Luna Classic is still extremely bearish. My stop loss is at break even at 29, so we'll see what happens, but short term does not look very good for Luna Classic. Now let's go look at the requests and see what we have going there. Hopefully I'm live on YouTube because I'm getting some sort of error message, so I don't know if I'm live. But appreciate the follows. If you guys are new, appreciate if you hit that like button as well. Even if you're not new, appreciate if you hit that like button. We do go live twice a week. So opinion on Chili's, let me look at that. And make sure I didn't miss anything else. So Chili's, thanks for being patient. Chili's, let's go look at Chili's. So CHI Chili's, USDT. Maybe it's just, all right. We'll just use a Binance chant for Chili's. So Chili's right now, let me start on the daily chart and we'll work our way down. Chili's down on the new day 1%. Almost looking like a little bit bullish of a falling wedge here on the daily chart, but also let's not get ahead of ourselves. That does look good to me though on the daily chart, so I'm going to chart it. it still would probably have to play out a little bit more because it's not a lot of it's going to take a few days to play out, but that does look like a possible falling wedge, at least on the daily chart for Chili's. Measure move would be 30 cents basically. So that's a falling wedge on the daily chart. It's probably going to take a few more days to play out to see if it happens, and it's going to all rely on Bitcoin as well. It's also on the falling wedge on the 4 hour. So to me, that looks bullish on the 4 hour and daily. Also, the 4 hour chart is low on the RSI. Is the daily chart low on the RSI? A daily chart is not, but the 4 hour chart is pretty low on the RSI. So a 4 hour chart to me is about to turn bullish. Well, you're probably going to keep dumping until it breaks out, but 4 hour chart and daily chart look pretty good to me. 1 hour chart has more room to move to the upside. I'd probably still wait for a long position just a little bit longer until you get a few more daily candles in this falling wedge. 1 hour chart has more room to the upside right now. So I guess right now for Chili's, I'd be targeting 30 cents. Yeah, and technically when you look at the daily chart, I mean not technically, it is bullish on the daily chart. You've been in a massive uptrend ever since you kind of got the double bottom on the 17th of June. Ever since then, you've been in a massive uptrend, and that's what I like to see. Trying to get out of this bear market is what Chili's is trying to do. And right now, Chili's looks bullish to me on the daily chart. So not only because you're in a massive uptrend, but because you're making another falling wedge. I think in a week or two, Chili's is probably at 30 cents, or at least hit 30 cents. Not financial advice. None of what I say or do is financial advice. But Chili's, to me, looks bullish on the daily chart. I'm not going to say it's going to break out today or tomorrow, but I do think later this week it does break out to the upside. There's a 68% chance that this breaks to the upside. So we'll see what happens. So that is Chili's. Looks bullish to me. If there's any other requests, let me know and I'll look at them. I still don't know what's going on with YouTube. So if we're not live, we're not live. But yeah, if you guys are new, appreciate it if you hit that like button and follow me on TikTok and YouTube, because I do go live Tuesdays and Saturdays. So yeah, if there's any other requests, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to go back to Bitcoin, which we're on right now. If Bitcoin cannot, let me go back to the 15-minute chart. I know I just said this like 5 minutes ago, but I'll say it one more time before I wrap up if there's no more requests. If Bitcoin cannot get above 19,300, this is a short position. This would be a short, calling for a short. Bear flag on the 15-minute chart. You can't get above 19.3. That's bearish, right? So then measure my target would be the next support at 18.8, which is pretty strong support. If that were to play out, and you're currently at $19,100, 18,800 would be about a 1.6% move. But because it's such a small move, I'd probably use some sort of leverage on that, like 3x or 5x leverage at most. And then say you do 3 times 1.5, that's a 7% trade or so, using my rough math. So overall, if you don't get above 19.3, I would be looking for a short down to 18.8. So that's it for Bitcoin. If you do get above 19.3, I'm looking for a move back to $20,000. But overall, I'm more bearish than bullish right now, at least on the daily chart for Bitcoin. Not so much on the 15, but daily charts, I am bearish. But 15-minute chart doesn't look bullish either to me, so we'll see what happens. I know Quant had a crazy move today, so let's go look at Quant. This was another one I was kind of thinking about looking at the live stream if this would be a good one to short. I still think we're a bit early to short it, but this is one I think we need to keep on our radar. I don't know exactly when I made this, but on the daily chart, you had this falling wedge. You broke that. You are breaking out to the upside, and technically, at least according to what I drew, you have not hit the measure move. At least my measure move that I drew was $160. Your current peak was very close to that at 147, just over that. But the problem is now, this is the problem that you're getting for Quant. Overbought on the daily chart. And you're pinned and overbought on the daily chart. That's a huge time frame. Same thing's happening here on the 4-hour chart. So overall, this is bearish. The 4-hour chart looks bearish to me. The daily chart looks way overbought. Let's check the 1 hour. 1 hour is also about to be overbought probably in the next hour or two. And the 15-minute chart, not that I care about the 15-minute so much. But but 15-minute chart is also overbought. But technically, the 15-minute chart made a higher high before it got overbought. So 15-minute chart is still bullish to me. That's why I'm not looking for a short just yet on this. Plus, you haven't hit the measured move, which was 160. Might not hit that, but as long as the 15-minute chart keeps making higher highs before, by the time it's overbought on the RSI, technically you're still in an uptrend and you can still look for more upside action. The second the 15-minute chart starts making lower highs by the time it's overbought, that's when you would look for a short. But until then, you can't really look for a short. So still waiting game on quant. But I would expect in the next 24 hours or less, it's gonna be time for a short on quant. We'll see what happens. Not financial advice. Quant had a great run. My measure move was 160, so you could have some more upside. But your daily chart, 4-hour chart, and 1-hour chart, especially the 4-hour and daily, are completely pinned and really need to just cool down. So I'd be looking for a short sometime in the next 24 hours, but it could keep mooning for another week. Anything's possible. It's crypto. But because we're in a bear market, I'm not saying you should be more bearish than bullish, but I am saying that you should not be overly bullish after things have had a huge move in a bear market. Because if it was in a bull market, you could keep going straight up for a lot longer than you could in a bear market. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking for a possible short on quant. Not yet, but probably in the next 24 hours, it's going to be time to short this. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for quant. Still short-term, 15-minute chart still looks bullish to me, though, on quant. With that being said, guys, that's going to wrap it up unless there's any requests on YouTube. I don't even know if I'm live. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. So there's one like on there. That's kind of sad. But again, this is a new schedule. Tuesdays are 8 p.m. Central Time, and Saturdays I go live at 3 p.m. Central Time. I know it's not 8 p.m. technically yet, but I decided to go live a little bit earlier. So if there's no other requests, I'm going to wrap it up. I will see you guys on Saturday at 3 p.m. Central Time. Until then, trade safe. Have a great week. And Bitcoin does not. I think Bitcoin's going to fall to 18.8 tonight. I might take a short on that. And I'm going to watch quant. If I do end up going short on quant, I'll try to make a video that day. Probably going to happen tomorrow, like I said, but we'll see. And hopefully Luna Classic can keep going down so my short works out. But if Luna Classic doesn't work out, then I am, like I said, going to look for quant to be a short probably tomorrow. So with that being said, guys, that's all I got. I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks, guys, for joining. And I'll see you guys on Saturday. Make sure you guys write it in your schedule at 3 p.m. Central Time on Saturday. We will be live again. I'll see you guys this weekend. And I will end the YouTube live stream. I don't know what's going on with it. I don't even know if I'm live. Hopefully I was. But otherwise, I'll see you guys on Saturday, 3 p.m. Central Time. See you then.